What if pain isn't the problem, but actually the pathway back to you? You're listening to The Leadership Wound, From Pain to Permission. I'm Amanda Rohr, your host and founder of Authentically You, coaching for embodied spiritual living and leading. This is where we get honest about the real cost of leadership, the burnout, the pretending, the rejection, and the return to your authentic self. Because this isn't about performance, it's about permission. Welcome to the leader you've always been. Here's what I've learned over years of leading and coaching. You can have people in your life who support you, love you, even admire you, and still not have anyone who can actually hold you accountable. Real community doesn't just cheer you on, it keeps you honest, it keeps you whole. Accountability isn't about power or control though, it's about mutual stewardship. It's like a partnership where both people share responsibility for the same home, the same vision, the same outcome. When one person starts drifting, the other can sense it because they both feel the weight of it together. That's the difference between advice and accountability. Advice says, here's what I think you should do. But accountability says, here's what we should do. And I'm going to walk with you until we do it together. Welcome back to The Leadership Wound. I'm Amanda Rohr, your host and founder of Authentically You, coaching for embodied spiritual living and leading. In today's podcast of The Leadership Wound, we're going to uncover the hidden cost of leadership. We've been in a series called Areas Leaders Often Neglect, exploring 5 key spaces that shape how we live and lead. We started with renewal, then moved to healing, purpose, alignment, and today we're going to end with community. We're closing with one that may be the hardest to live out, but also the most transformative when we do, because we're never meant to lead alone. It's so much easier to lead alone though, isn't it? You get to make decisions faster, you don't have to explain yourself, you can move without resistance or delay. It feels efficient, it feels productive, and it even looks impressive to others when we do. But underneath that independence often hides something else. It's a quiet loneliness. Because the truth is, leadership without community might be efficient, but it isn't sustainable. And if we're really honest, it isn't fully human. You were created for connection, not just friendship that makes you feel good, but relationships that make you grow. People who see you, speak the truth to you, and help you stay grounded when your vision gets cloudy. Individuality is important, but isolation, it can be seductive. It tricks us into believing that solitude is the price of strength, that we'll be safer if we just keep things between us and God. But you can't be fully formed in isolation. You can only be refined if you are in relationship with others. Community isn't convenient though, it's often inconvenient. Because people are complicated. They challenge you, they misunderstand you. Yes, they slow you down too. But that friction, that tension in relationships is where growth happens. And I often say, if you're not uncomfortable, you probably aren't growing. Without it, you may accomplish tasks, but you won't cultivate transformation within you. So let's talk about what actually happens when you lead without community. Well, the first one is accountability fades. You begin to believe your own story, the one that justifies your exhaustion or explains away your avoidance for certain things. Leading without community also narrows our perspective. You see what you see, and without others beside you, you miss the rest of the picture. Your blind spots grow. You start thinking your version of the truth is the truth. There's emotional load that increases when you lead alone. You end up carrying the burden all alone, and you call it faithfulness. And then lastly, there's a spiritual detachment that sets in. Without honest reflection, even your relationship with God becomes filtered through your performance or through your own perspective. According to Harvard Business Review, over half of leaders report feeling lonely in their roles. And those who do are significantly more likely to experience burnout, disengagement, and decreased productivity in their roles. But loneliness isn't just emotional, it's spiritual, because when no one knows the truth of your inner life, you begin to lose touch with your own soul. Here's what I've learned over years of leading and coaching. You can have people in your life who support you, love you, even admire you, and still not have anyone who can actually hold you accountable. Real community doesn't just cheer you on, it keeps you honest, it keeps you whole. Accountability isn't about power or control, though. It's about mutual stewardship. It's like a partnership where both people share responsibility for the same home, the same vision, the same outcome. When one person starts drifting, the other can sense it because they both feel the weight of it together. That's the difference between advice and accountability. Advice says, here's what I think you should do. But accountability says, here's what we should do. And I'm going to walk with you until we do it together. That kind of relationship only happens when two people or a team share the same level of trust and responsibility. When they each have the authority to call the other back to integrity. Because it doesn't work if they can't hold each other to that accountability. You can't be truly accountable to someone who doesn't share the weight with you. That's why shared leadership, co-leadership, partnership, spiritual friendship, husband and wife relationship is so transformative. Because when someone else carries the vision with you, you can no longer hide behind image or isolation. You're invited to the kind of honesty that forms character. And this is the soil where authentic leadership grows. And this is why God designed community in the first place, not just for comfort, but for correction and formation. Not just for belonging, but for becoming. When you lead alongside someone who sees the world differently than you, who loves you enough to speak truth even when it's uncomfortable, you start to grow in ways that isolation could never accomplish. That kind of relationship exposes pride. It refines motives and deepens your capacity for empathy. It's how you learn to stay tethered to humility because you're no longer the only voice in the room. Shared leadership doesn't mean shared sameness, though. In fact, it works best when you are different, when you are opposite. Shared leadership means shared trust. It means you both hold the mission and each other with open hands. I want you to take a moment and really let these questions that I'm about to say sink in. Remember, be open, be honest, have compassionate curiosity to yourself. The first is, who can speak into your leadership with authority, not just affirmation? Do you have someone who shares your level of responsibility? Someone who truly understands the weight you carry? Where are you leading alone, even though you don't have to? What would change if you let someone share the mission, share the responsibility, and share the authority over you, holding you accountable to it? What kind of leader could you become if you stopped carrying everything by yourself? Community is not the absence of loneliness. It's the presence of accountability. It's not just about being surrounded by more people. It's about being seen by the right people. Leaders thrive when they have others who carry the same vision and can lovingly call them back when they drift. This is why Jesus sent disciples out 2 by 2. It wasn't just strategy, it was sustainability for not only humans, but for the mission God had given them. We grow best when someone else can see what we can't, and when we give them permission to help us return to alignment when we forget who we are. This is mutual accountability. But let me just give you a disclaimer. Community doesn't make leadership easier, but it does make it truer. It makes it more humble, more influential. Community has a way of carrying a vision further than individuals can do on their own. And it keeps us from drifting into the dangerous illusion of self-sufficiency. If you've been leading in isolation, holding everything together, convincing yourself you can manage it alone, I want to remind you, you're not meant to carry leadership by yourself. You need mirrors, partners, and people who will hold space for your humanity. Because a leadership that's shared is a leadership that lasts. And this is the kind of work I do every day through Authentically You coaching. It's actually what gets me up in the morning, helping leaders to step out of isolation, to uncover the hidden cost of leadership, to rediscover their connection to community, and to lead from wholeness. If you're ready to explore what it might look like to have someone walk alongside of you in your journey of living and leading authentically, I want to encourage you to go on over to my website, authenticleadershipcollective.com, and book a free 30-minute growth plan consult. It's really just the beginning of a conversation of how you can live and lead authentically. And in just 90 days, you could begin leading from a completely different place, a more grounded, connected, and whole place. And while you're there, you can sign up for my free Authentic Leadership Starter Kit, including is a morning meditation, a free guide naming the 10 traps that keep leaders stuck and how to break free. Because freedom doesn't come from carrying it all alone. It comes from leading together. Until next time, lead like you.